the home of the do-it-yourself trucker. When everything goes wrong, you got a Redneckanize. All right, everybody. Hey, welcome back. Hey, this is Ed, Redneckanize Radio. We're live here every Sunday evening at 7 o'clock Eastern Time. And you can always check us out at redneckanize.com. We got links to our YouTube channel where we got videos about truck driving and life on the road. We put this podcast out on the YouTube. We've got some videos directed toward the four-wheelers on trying to teach them more about how to drive around big trucks. And we're really proud of those. Those are pretty cool. So, like I said, you can check out our YouTube channel and go subscribe to there. We really appreciate it. We're trying to build our subscriptions up on that, and then viewership and everything. And that way, hey, we always ask for donations. We are a 501c3 nonprofit, educational nonprofit, and we gladly accept donations from anyone that's willing to donate. But if you are looking for ways to help out, just watch our videos, share our videos, get our videos watched, so that, maybe even we can start maybe even generating some revenue from watching those videos from YouTube. So that's the goal. And we would love to have that be part of how we get funding for our truck show events. And that's the main goal. Or, keep things going where we can, get you better quality for the truck shows or for the radio show and all that kinds of stuff. We thank the sponsors. It's a big expense to, get content out to everybody. So we appreciate sponsors from helping us out. One of the great sponsors we have, I don't know if you guys have heard about them yet, and they've been all over the place here in the last year or two, and that's Trucker Tools, and they're at truckertools.com. It's the Trucker Tools app, of course. They have been a big part of how the industry acts online when they have an app that you can go on and you download the app and you use it to, you can book freight, you can track freight, and you can also find out, they've got routing for fuel stops and for maintenance. They've even got one little button on there that just finds Walmarts, so I thought that was pretty cool. But yeah, you can check them out. Like I said, go to your app store, download their app. And you may not use all the features, and that's fine. But the ones you do use, let them know how they're going. And they always like trying to make changes and update them to help out the drivers the best. So they're always eager to help, and you can always comment on there and let them know. And, of course, we appreciate it if you let them know that you appreciate them supporting Redneckanize, because we appreciate them doing that. And so we're just rocking on here. And you call in 516-387-1733 and listen along. If you want to be part of the conversation, just hit 1. And we'll get you on here. Like I said, we were talking about the round table that they had with Department of Transportation, FMCSA, with OIDA and Teamsters and all that stuff like that. And that was interesting. We were also talking about how the governor was suspending the DOT rules, and the reporters didn't think that was legal. So what do you think? You think that the governor has the right to suspend the hours of service for all trucks traveling in the state of South Dakota? My opinion was that as long as the freight's picking up and delivering, then, that freight falls in the jurisdiction of the state. They also, what I noticed was that it was funny because people were commenting on it and they thought that there would be feds out on the highways shutting down trucks when the governor said don't do it. But that's not right, because as truck drivers, we know that there aren't any federal employees out there inspecting trucks. The people that inspect the trucks at the weigh stations and out on the highway, they're just the state police or the highway patrol, state troopers, that kind of stuff. So we know that that's not going to happen. So, like I said, what do you think? What should the governor have done better? Maybe according to the statement, they say there's a fuel shortage. So all tanker trucks hauling fuel, whether it be diesel fuel, jet fuel, gasoline, stuff like that, they can haul it and go over the hours of service. And what my opinion is, I'll tell all truck drivers, I don't care if there's a law saying that you're allowed to, don't. Because in my opinion, is if the law is good enough to where you can suspend the rules whenever you deem it necessary, well then the law has no impact or necessary for safety. That's not what it's about. It's about control. Because then they can say, well then, like now they can suspend it and then say you can do whatever you want. And if it's about safety, then it never should be suspended. So I tell truck drivers all the time, it doesn't matter what the rule is. Don't drive when you're tired. And then in these circumstances where they want you to break the rules because they say there's some kind of emergency, well then, even more so, don't break the rules, because they just need to understand that if you expect us to break the rules now, why not 2 days ago? Why not a month from now? It's just silly. So yeah, we'll just keep on rocking with that and see what's going on with there. But in other news, there was, there's just accidents that happen. We don't really talk about them that much. Sometimes we get some details that involve, like, we know that there was a strap involved. We know that there was, certain things going wrong that we can identify. But a lot of times there's just not enough information on these articles where, it says here, I-85 construction zone death trap called into question after triple fatality pileup involving big rig. The South Carolina DOT blames trucker. And, that's it. And if you go in and read the article, that's really, I don't know. There is a news report here. Let's see what it says. Nothing. It says it's a video like from the helicopter, and there's nobody talking, but it's like a 19-minute video. So, but I was waiting to see if anybody's going to start talking. Looks like this was just as it happened. So yeah, there's nothing going on here. They don't know information or anything like that. But the article, all it does is it says a coroner in South Carolina has criticized state transportation officials over the safety of the construction zone following an 8-vehicle pileup crash that killed 3 people on Thursday. But the South Carolina Department of Transportation responded by calling out a truck driver for using the wrong lane. See, here you go. Oh crap. Yes, what it looks like to me, according to the picture on here, is they've got like an HOV lane in the middle, maybe, and the truck is in that lane. Yeah, that's what it looks like. And then he just slammed right into a bunch of cars and put one of them up over the rail into the other traffic. So it may be that the driver was in the wrong lane, but let's see what happens. It says the crash occurred shortly before 3 p.m. in the southbound lanes of I-85 in Gaffney, South Carolina. The crash happened in one of the southbound single lane chutes used in I-85 as part of a construction project to widen the interstate. See, it's not even HOV. They just created a separate lane because of the construction. It says local outlet WYFF reports that a semi-truck rear-ended several vehicles, causing a chain reaction crash that involved 8 vehicles and sent 3 vehicles into the northbound lane. Authorities said that the 3 people traveling in a van died as a result of the crash. Newman McElroy, 58, and Ruth Ann McElroy, 60, passed away at the scene. Karen Marie Gogan, 60, was transported to a hospital but succumbed to her injuries. 6 other people were taken to the hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. It says Cherokee County Coroner Dennis Fowler vehemently called out the single-lane chutes for being unsafe for drivers. In the news release, Fowler said these chutes should be called death traps, while state officials have endorsed them at 2 separate public meetings in Gaffney. I disagree with their being safe for motorists. It seems none of those officials are around to ride with me to knock on the doors of the next of kin to deliver the message that the loved one has been killed in the maze of concrete. Something must be done immediately. We cannot lose any other lives at a sacrifice of road project. The South Carolina Department of Transportation issued the following statement on Thursday: fatal crash, indicting that the truck driver was in the lane to be used by passenger vehicles only. Says South Carolina DOT is working with the law enforcement officials to gain better understanding of the circumstances that led to the tragic crash on Interstate 85 construction project. The project has been plagued by crashes throughout the work zone, including crashes like the one that involved tractor trailers that were traveling in the lanes designated for passenger vehicles only. We will continue our effort with law enforcement and local first responders to identify and implement additional measures designed to get motorists to slow down, pay attention, and stay in the proper lanes. I'd like to see a picture, what could have been if somebody had a picture of like the signage out there to identify whether or not the truck should be in that lane or not, or, things like that. So the crash remains under investigation. Again, like I said, this is the typical, there's just limited information we don't have. And I don't, yeah, I agree. The truck driver probably shouldn't have been in that lane only if there was plenty of signs. But again, if you want trucks to stay out of something, you know what you do? You build like a low hanging deal, like a low bridge or something to force them out of that lane, to stay out of that lane. You need flashing lights. I'm gonna tell you, like I said, truck drivers, we said it before on here before, truck drivers are their own worst enemy. They'll get themselves in these predicaments where you just, It makes you feel like all truckers are bad, but it's what it is. It is what it is what we say around here on Redneckanize a lot. It is what it is that, truckers get themselves into predicaments where they shouldn't be, and create these scenarios. And I mean, I hate to tell the DOT and the construction people and all that, the people that created these lanes, you would think, sitting there, you would think, hey, it's common sense. They should be able to see that, and they should be able to stay out of that lane. They shouldn't be in that lane. Why would they be in that lane? We've got signs up. Doesn't matter. Okay? You're dealing with the general public. Doesn't even matter. You want to hold the big trucks to the higher standard, then you got to create harder rules, because, it may be, truck driving is a hard job, but it's not easy to get certified as a truck, or it's not hard to get certified as a truck driver. You can get a CDL. It's easy. Go to a school, they'll teach you. We've always made the complaint about getting a CDL is not that hard. So you think, these truck drivers should know better. Well, regular people should know better too, but they don't. So that's what it all boils down to. I'd like to know more information about that. But I think, what do y'all think? Because, I think they could have been, could have been in the right lane to begin with. But again, if the signs weren't clear, or if there was no signs at all, I know that they're probably, what it looks like is that the lane is like the left lane, and the other two lanes were on the right side. So if you had a sign, a white sign that's designated for truck drivers only, and it just says no trucks left lane, not everybody follows those signs. Those are just information signs directed toward big trucks, and you say no trucks in left lane. If you're not enforcing that rule, then they're not going to abide by that rule, and that's just what it boils down to. California enforces the hell out of the lane restrictions. Nobody violates the lane restrictions in California. Texas, some places have lane restrictions on 35 and 20. They hardly ever get enforced. So guess what? The truck drivers will get in the left lane when they need to. In my opinion, there shouldn't be any kind of lane restrictions. Truck drivers should know better to, it's one of those things where truck drivers need to stay to the right, except when passing. That's how it needs to be. There shouldn't be any lane restrictions. So when you're passing vehicles, whether it be you're passing, if you're in the middle lane and you need to pass somebody in the middle lane, you can get over to the left and pass them on the left. Pass them on the left. When you pass somebody, you pass them on the left. It's the safest thing to do. Pass them on the left. And then you get back over to the right, because somebody's going to pass you. And when they pass you, they need to be passing you on the left. So that's how it needs to be. So you need to always stay to the right. Keep right except when passing. That should be the rule. Guess what? That rule doesn't get enforced. So people don't abide by that rule. So, oh man, I can go all night about that. But then what happens is, in this scenario, what happened was that so the truck was in the left lane. Well, then the construction forces that one lane into its own system where there's concrete on one side and concrete on the other side. Truck drivers have seen this. It's been that way. It's been that way before in Kentucky, and maybe in parts of Ohio, and where, because you're limited on where the road can be, they just push you over into a separate road where you're stuck there. You can't change lanes because it's only one lane, and there's concrete on one side of you and concrete on the other side of you. In that situation, if you're a truck driver and you're in one of those lanes where you can't go nowhere, guess what? You need to slow down. You need to be very aware. And that could be it. It could have been that just the driver wasn't paying attention. It doesn't even matter what lane they were in. If they were in the other lane, they weren't paying attention. They were going to hit somebody. And what it looks like to me from the picture is that the truck rear-ended and just threw those cars out of the way. One car ended up in the oncoming traffic lanes, like up over the concrete or rail or whatever that is that they're next to. It looks like it's like highway dividers is what it looks like. So yeah. But yeah, it's something else. I don't this kind of circumstance, like I said, we don't talk about the accidents that much because it is limited information. But this one I thought was interesting because they were like, well, we're just going to blame the trucker. And it's like, wait a minute, what? And come to find out, hey, could be some grounds here, but again, we just don't have all the information to make our opinions. So it doesn't even matter anyway, right? Doesn't matter what we think, right? That's what truckers get told. Doesn't matter what you think anyway. They're gonna do whatever they want. But yep, so we're just rocking along here. Like I said, this is Redneckanize Radio, 516-387-1733. We're live every Sunday evening at 7 o'clock Eastern Time. You can call in and be part of the conversation. Just hit 1. Make sure you go check us out. It's at redneckanize.com. And don't forget to go subscribe to, hang on a second. Don't forget to go subscribe to our YouTube channel and everything. We appreciate everybody doing that. It's been a great success for us out there. We got videos about, we got videos about driving around big trucks. We got videos about becoming an owner operator. We got videos, a couple of videos about the power differential, power divider, stuff like that. Just trying to create that brotherhood of trucking where everybody can just kind of count on each other, give a helping hand to a truck driver in need if you need some help out there on the road, that kind of stuff. So just kick with us here. We got about a little less than an hour left to go here, and we're just rocking along, talking about things. So stay with us. This is Redneckanize Radio.